The other day, we watched a video about Amala Ekpunobi. Got visited by some Diddy Goons. Well, they found them.
Back to the Diddy story. Okay, y'all. I came on this show, I spoke to y'all, and I said some private investigators came to a place that I used to live. 2 men, and we actually found out who these 2 men are, or at least we know what they look like now. And they knocked on the door, they started talking to my best friend and said, we heard Amala lives here. They came really under false pretenses, trying to have a conversation with her about whether or not I'm paid to talk about the different topics that I talk about on this show. And once I got on the phone, interrogated them a little bit, they ended up letting me know they were private investigators to an unnamed client who they would not disclose, who were trying to figure out if influencers were paid to talk about P. Diddy and his connection to certain celebrities. So immediately
Yeah, they are getting paid by YouTube. By the YouTube ad revenue, AdSense.
My mind is thinking some sort of celebrity has hired this group of people to sort of travel around and maybe get some dirt on whether or not these people have been paid to talk about them and to share particular bits of information about them, although we do not have that confirmed. Now, these 2 guys ended up leaving after finding out that I was not paid by anybody and continue to not be paid by anybody to talk about the things that I talk about, but not before they offered more money. They said, if you were paid, we'd pay to know who's paying you, and whatever they're paying you to share these stories about Diddy and his connection to other celebrities will pay you more to share the opposite story. They let me
Man, I wish some people would pay me to talk about Diddy.
know also that they had about 10 other influencers that they were planning on visiting, and we did find one of them just moments after we finished the show. We finished talking to you guys, actually. Samson popped up on my TikTok, and Taylor had sent me videos that you guys were
Samson, the rapper?
sending to him. I was getting tagged and mentioned on TikTok. People saying, are these the same 2 guys? And here they are. These are confirmed the same 2 guys that came to my best friend's door where I used to live.
So you guys are private investigators who have come to my private home asking about influencers? This is very uncomfortable, you guys.
I don't know why. I'll explain.
No, you're at my home.
They're also extremely muscular. Like that, they are intimidating looking.
Okay, so you don't want to talk to us then?
Have I broken some law?
Absolutely not.
And you have the thin blue. This is frightening. I think. Can you guys?
Thin blue line. Anybody know what the thin blue line is? That's basically a gang symbol. That means that police are their own little gang and they're against anybody who's not with the police, basically. Like they're gonna protect their own, like a gang does. That's what thin blue line means.
Step away from my home.
We're in a public street, so the answer is no. But I'm really not trying to give you a hard time.
Why are you here? What do you mean? You're showing up at my house.
We're very nice and respectful, and we will be. I just have 2 quick questions for you, and if you want to be interested in it, great. If not, I'll have a nice day. We're not.
What is this? This is odd.
So
You have to admit this is very weird.
it always is, and people always ask us the same questions. I'm happy to explain to you.
What?
Very simply, we're just hired to speak to a few people that do, have a lot of followers and stuff like that on different platforms.
What is this about the Diddy stuff I report on?
Somewhat, yes.
Wow.
Not necessarily doing stuff, but people are involved in just stuff like that. So basically, a very simple question is are you paid to influence?
Not necessarily Diddy stuff, but people are involved in something like that. This is literally what he sounded like on the phone. And how did I describe him to you guys? So many of you guys were like commenting and saying, I saw the TikTok of who the guys are. You described them perfectly. Did I not describe them perfectly? There's one guy just stumbling over all of his sentences, which is the big, bulky guy. And then the boss man who sort of steps in to sort of clear things up, but not exactly clear them up. Now they claim their names are Robert, James, and Peter Deegan. Who knows whether or not that's true?
The internet's about to know because they don't stop. They will do some digging. They will find these guys. They're gonna be named on the internet. It's just a matter of time.
Already reported them to the police. I happen to have some cop friends. We want to look into whether or not these individuals are actually registered as private investigators, because at least in the state of California, you do have to be registered and licensed as a private investigator. And I think the same can be said for other states. There is a registry that exists somewhere. I don't know if it's a state-based registry or a nationwide registry, but we're trying to figure it out, because who is Robert James and Peter Deegan? They're probably not even their real names. Like Robert James. Okay. Robert James. My name is Jason Allen. Yeah, John Smith. It's just like, please. But they've also apparently visited other TikTokers. Here's another video of a TikToker that popped up. You guys have been like tagging me and everything. You have been my sleuths all over TikTok, finding these people who have had similar experiences. So here's this guy quickly talking about his experience.
So this morning, private investigators, in quotations, chose to show up on my doorstep that apparently are going around and contacting numerous influencers that talk about Diddy and then do deep dives on Diddy as well. Now, obviously, I didn't talk long, but I was curious who they were, what they wanted, and why the fuck they were showing up on my property. And how the fuck they got my address. Best believe I had a special little something sitting in my hands that you could see from a pretty good distance, if you know what.
If you know what he means. Okay. And they...
Yep, same. That's what I'd be doing too. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so like if somebody's showing up to my house, it don't matter who they are. If I don't know them, I'm answering the door with a gun. Like that's just what's gonna happen.
Asked him very similar questions. Were you paid? If so, who by? They offered him money. I saw another guy on TikTok. Another guy on TikTok who lived in Arizona, who was visited recently by 2 private investigators. Now, these were apparently different private investigators, because his visit exists on the same timeline as the 2 private investigators being here in California to visit me and the other influencers that...
Yeah, there was 100% an operation going on. And did they think that we wouldn't find out? We are Legion. We are the internet, man. Like, we talk to each other, we post everything, and we all connect the dots. We have our own forums, we have our own little communities, we're all in like 10, 20 different communities sometimes. Like, these people are stupid.
I mentioned, what is going on? Who is hiring these people? Now, some are running with the narrative that these are people hired by Diddy or somebody within Diddy's network, and they're doing it at his request to figure out why influencers are talking about these stories. First of all, I don't even know if these guys are private investigators. I don't know what they were doing. There could have been so many different things going on. They could have been there to just scope out and see where these individuals live. And they had one guy sort of confusingly talk.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think that they were scoping out, see where these people live, find out where they actually are, find out their locations. I think that's 100% what's going on, because they can harass these people now. But the internet has caught on, so I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. That is a crazy thing if they just were trying to find these people's houses and where they live and like how to get in contact with them. That's a weird one. I don't know. I don't know. I know that is very dangerous and that it shouldn't be happening, and that don't show up to my house.
Talking to whoever answers the door so that the other guy can scope out the area and see what's going on. I don't know. I mean, my best running theory is that some celebrity that all of us as influencers have spoken about in relation to Diddy, sort of tangential to Diddy, is maybe sweating about the fact that people are making this connection. And maybe somebody else has bad blood with this celebrity, and they think that somebody is funding celebrities talking about them and connecting them with P. Diddy. Because I
think we'll find out. I don't think this is going to remain a mystery for long. I think the internet is going to do its digging because it's curious and it don't like Diddy. It really don't like Diddy. So I think we're gonna know soon.
I would only imagine that if you are in any way, shape, or form connected to this man, and people are starting to talk about it, or there are whispers, or you're seeing a video pop.
Yeah, whoever's behind this, we will find you. Don't act like we're not gonna find you. Because we're everywhere. We have everything. We have satellites that can zoom in to people. We can see people. We can determine who a person is from a satellite by zooming in. And it's not difficult to figure out. You just have to hack into a satellite, which people do. I may not be able to do that. You may not be able to do that, but there's people out there who do, and they will.
Pop up here and a video pop up there. You're going to start getting pretty paranoid. that you are next on the chopping block, and that somehow people have figured this out about you. And knowing the sort of network that they had with other celebrities, how they would target other celebrities, the rumors about Diddy and Tupac and Kid Cudi and all the different wars that they were feuding out with one another. Maybe they really are paranoid that somebody has it out for them and is paying influencers to build this connection and bring them down. I don't know, guys. I'm just making shit up at this point.
And this is where I usually say we should get out our tinfoil hats and play the music, but this is so serious because it literally happened to you in your doorstep. So
Yeah.
Confirmed by multiple people now that this actually happened because it happened to them. And there's video evidence of one guy, Samson. I don't know who that is. I thought it was the rapper. Maybe not.
You know, we can't. It's not this conspiratorial stuff like we were saying yesterday. But I think your take's plausible. I think my favorite theory is best summarized by one of the commenters on our video from Monday, who says he's a former law enforcement officer. He says it sounds to me like they may have been working for the Diddy defense team, trying to build a defense, and the first step is try for a change of venue and complain that Diddy can't get a fair trial. They do that by showing a judge that someone's paying influencers to say things about Diddy to millions of people, thus shaping public opinion on the case. If the defense can say that X person paid influencers to pass false information.
That's probably what's happening. I'm wrong. I'm a moron. I was just saying shit. This guy, this commenter he's talking about, sounds like he might be right. That sounds very plausible.
That can help the defense acquit him. So I think that is probably where my greatest suspicion lies, is I still think it is Diddy's legal
theory.
team. But, you know, that's alleged. That's just our speculation at this point. We don't know for sure, but hopefully we can, with the help of these other influencers and just continuing to investigate this, get to the bottom of what's really going on here.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. I think that's it's part of their legal team, or their legal team hired them to try and find out if somebody's paying influencers, which is not happening. It's not. The only thing that's paying influencers is AdSense and like community donations.
Yeah, 100%. There's something's afoot. Something is not right. So we're trying to figure it out. I've been blasting these guys' faces everywhere. I'm like, oh, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram. We need to find out who these men are. I'm expecting at least one person to be like, that looks like my uncle John or something crazy. Why?
Oh, the internet's already doing the work. They're trying to figure out who this is. I give it a week, maybe two, before we find out some more information about these people and who they are.
Why have we not figured out who these men are? We put them on so many different publications. So many outlets have covered it. We have them all over social media. I am just so curious to get to the bottom of it, but not if the bottom of it makes me 6 feet under. Which I don't think it's anything. Of a river at the bottom of this. I don't want to be at the bottom of the river after this whatsoever. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We have a lot of circulating theories. If you have your own theory, drop it in the comments down below and let us know what you think. It's anybody's guess at this point. But what an interesting thing to find yourself in the middle of a story. And to be honest, we didn't cover P. Diddy that heavily on this channel. So it's so wild to see how many people that these individuals are.
Hey, if there's anybody out there who's paying influencers to talk shit about Disney, well, that too. If there's any influencers out there paying, why I can't say that for some reason, okay? If there's anybody out there paying influencers to talk shit about Diddy, I'm doing it for free right now. I'll take money and I will double down and I will go harder. Or, you know, if anybody wants to pay me to talk up and talk good about Diddy, I'll do that too. Just be warned, everybody knows what I actually think about him, though.